Friday crossword time. It is time for the March 7th Friday crossword. Again, I'm going to be trying to go slow this week. Did I start on the Sunday? I can't remember, but I'll go do it through Sunday. Let's go with that. Yeah, I guess I got nothing else to give as a preamble. Just going through the acrosses and just taking note of any downs I'm completing and just try to think through my thoughts. Not trying to cheat ahead with the different clues going down, but at least taking note of the letters I got above, below, and if it would make sense to stick in certain words in there. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So big clashes, something plural, I have no idea. It's likely going to be 2 words because it's 8 letters long, plus the S, assuming that's there. So we're going to keep going. Alliance, I don't know. We'll skip it. Razzle dazzle of the film industry, so to speak. I have no clue. I feel like Tinseltown is what comes to mind just because razzle dazzle feels like tinsel. But there's no reason that makes sense because Tinseltown's a place. Razzle dazzle would be like movie magic. Yeah, let's go with movie magic. There you go. Chicago politician Emmanuel. I have no idea about politicians, so we will skip that. Crush, I'm gonna go with orange soda here. Maybe it's Finding Nemo Turtle or something. Nemo Turtle, but probably not. So let's do this. Let's stick with the orange crush, or sorry, orange soda. Oh, I did get this 9 down now with the crosses. So Ice Age Sloth, voiced by John Leguizamo. Never seen Ice Age and don't plan on it, but Sid's a name, so let's go with it. Tag at a vintage store, maybe as is. I think that's just implicit at a vintage store, but I would expect it more as like a discount store or an outlet, but sure, vintage store too. Leaves for dinner, so with the question mark, quite literally leaves, we'll go with kale. Okay. Certain records for short, let's go with EPs. Maybe short is also a play on EPs being short, or maybe it's just wrong and I'm just reading too far into it. Some swimming pool inflatables. All I can think of is those little floaties. We have inner tubes. We have vests. I don't think you wear a vest in a pool, so we'll just go with tubes. Why not? What might be confused with 5 on a digital display? S, maybe? So let's do that S, and I'm assuming this refers to like the old LCD displays where they try to put the number 5. It just basically anything that comes out to an 8, and a 5 would be an S because it's, or I guess the way I'm doing it now, I would have to do it like a 2. So you see it like that. But that's my guess is what it means by digital display. Quite literally for digital meaning 10, so 0 through 9, as opposed to digital, more like a graphic computer thing. So again, literal to the word digital and what it means. Wait, no. Is digit? I don't know. Digit. That's not digital. I'm thinking decimal. So anyways, whatever. I stand by what I said. Item accompanying a diary. Let's go with the key. Now that makes me feel like EPs is wrong. But again, I'm not looking at the down clues. But if that were LPs, then omelette would fit there perfectly. So, still confused. I don't know what to put. The still makes me think it's going to be at least a 2-letter word, and I'm not going to make a guess on that. Yeah, keeping going. 1/8 of a bite would be a bit, and that makes me feel like 6 down is going to be omelet, so we'll get to it. Eyeshadow purchase, maybe compacts. I don't know. I don't do makeup, and I know little to anything about makeup. Stretch of land between two hills. I feel like there's different words that stand for this. I'm just gonna go with vale. I think glen is another one you tend to see for a valley, but we'll go with vale. And 24 down, if if you go with glen, then the N would work better, and if you go with vale, the E would be Kiev potentially. So we'll see what it is. I feel like I likely got that one wrong, and we'll change it if I did. But I like vale to start off with, and we'll see what happens. Wax off with a question mark. I don't know. I will skip it because for me, you say wax off, I just think about Karate Kid or Ninja Turtles. So with a question mark, it just doesn't mean something from Karate Kid, which isn't much. So however you want to use the word wax in combination with off, to me it can mean whatever you want it to be. So I'll keep going. Darkens in the light, tans. Feels like it's appropriate. Pop star with the #1 albums, Sour and Guts. So Olivia Rodrigo. Go Philippines. A real no name for short. Anonymous, but for short, Anon. And question mark. So referring to no name as someone who doesn't matter would be what you think of by default, but quite literally someone with no name. Anonymous. Likes to be nits. I think that's right. Like nitpicking is picking lice eggs out of your hair. Lice being the plural of louse, so nits would be fitting. From the beginning, let's go with a new. Sleeveless summer attire. Attire can be plural, so I'm going to go tank tops. Oh, and with the V, we also got Olivia Rodrigo, given the V for Kiev here. So I don't know if that's a thing, chicken Kiev, but with Glen there, it would have been Kinv, which seems less like a thing. So I'm going to keep going, and we'll see how everything comes out. Provide with equipment without. So you deck out is what I'm thinking of off the top of my head. For some reason, I wanted to put don out. Arm out is another thing that comes to mind, but when I look at the N from a new, which I feel good about, I'm trying to think of letters that would feel appropriate here too. So I'll skip it for now. Feel stupid skipping a 3-letter answer, but for something that I'm trying to make ideas on, but it's fine. So took a tumble, past tense. ED would not work well with tank tops, which I'm not super confident on, but because it is also a 7-letter answer, I don't think it's going to be a single word answer. So I'll leave this one blank for now. Admin for an online forum would be mod. Cheap beer brand for short would be PBR from Crossword. PBR nowhere near as cheap as it was before. I feel like I might have even brought this up in a previous puzzle where I remember going to a bar or venue in San Francisco where they had PBRs for, I think it was $2 for a tall can, and I was just amazed. And by the next month, they were just the same price as every other beer, because that was like the exact moment in time it became a popular hipster brand, and then just took off. So weird time to be witness to. Anyways, we're solving the crossword here, so I'll keep going. German city. I don't really know anything about Germany, so maybe I'll recognize a city name once we get down all the downs or some of the downs, and I'll be able to complete it. But off the top of my head, no, I won't know. Stroke. I don't know what to put here. Stroke likely doesn't mean like having a stroke, but if stroke means like maybe a swing, I still don't have a word for that. Stroke could be pet, so okay, like caress, stroke, caressing from, or caressed from the other day. I'm gonna go with pet, just cause. Let's keep it thematic or consistent. Buttery topping for paratha. So it either something that is made of butter or is butter-like. I don't know what paratha is, but one common thing you'll see in crosswords is oleo. So we're running with it. Notice of money owed. Would that be lien? I don't know if it's a lien is a notice, but I'm just gonna go with that. Seat of power in Westeros, so Iron Throne. Westeros being Game of Thrones, and the seat of power being the Iron Throne. That must be very uncomfortable. The nicest word there is per TV's Laura Ingalls. No clue. I know my mom and my sister would watch Little House on the Prairie, but I don't think I ever watched it, and I definitely don't remember anything from it. So I'm going to keep going. Fruity green cocktails. Apple martinis is what comes to mind, but what really has green? Like a Midori sour maybe, but is it fruity? Something with an S first. Yeah, I can't think of what even has what's green. So Midori's green. Incredible Hulk is green. And that's all I got. So I'm just going to keep going. Creatures that take over Earth in a 1968 film. I'm going to guess this is Planet of the Apes, not Planet of the APIs. Glam rock with a question mark. So normally with glam rock, you'd think of like Twisted Sister and all those types of rock bands. So this very much likely means a literal rock that is shiny. But this is also 9 letters long, so I can't think of anything. Like for me, when you think of a rock in the crossword, if you think of a rock that is pretty, I would go with maybe geode or opal, because those are very common in crosswords, or opal in particular, but I don't know anything that would be 9 letters long, so I'll skip it for now. So there you have the acrosses. We even got to verify some of the downs, and even in the case of chicken Kiev, I'm going to say it, questionable, but better than chicken Kinv, in my opinion at least. So let's go through the downs now. 13 and a half minutes in with some chatting and aside. So fire sign, smoke. Another one where it's a little bit weird to put a question mark. I guess fire sign would, without it, be referring to like maybe your star sign or some shit like that. Otherwise, yeah, it's just two weird words to put together that don't really mean anything. So maybe it is appropriate to put a question mark. Maybe not for a Friday. You just expect things to be difficult to understand. So yeah, I'm always going to kind of drop those comments in. Dances in which chairs are hoisted. So horas, I don't know anything about Jewish tradition, but this has just been in the crosswords often enough for me to fill in, and I watched enough stuff to, or is it Jewish? Is it Greek? I don't know. I was thinking of other things I'm not even gonna mention it, it'll go into a weird rabbit hole. So, slices of hard-boiled eggs, for instance, ovals. Technically true. I would think you're trying to make them circles, but it's impossible to make them circles. So, calling them ovals or ellipses, to me is a better word to use there. Red or white, but not blue. Wine. Red wine, white wine. There is no blue wine, apparently. I didn't want to put a vine just because of red vines, but I guess white vines probably isn't a thing. But yeah. Listing next to one's name at times, abbreviation. I have no clue. I'm just going to stare at the keyboard for a moment because the only thing I can think of that, even without the clue itself, I want to put like reg for regular. But next to a name, it's going to be like a title or a degree held, and I can't think of anything. Or degree. There you go. Not the actual, like, listing different degrees. I guess plural degs would be more appropriate in my opinion. But for me, this makes sense. It's a tricky question, but it makes sense. Anyways, I'm gonna go fix this to omelette. Is fare being food that is folded? I don't know if that's technically what an omelet is, but I never really looked it up. I've been curious because growing up, I thought omelet was a scramble. A scramble was an omelet, the same thing. But apparently that's wrong. So I'm gonna accept this. If we want to go by like a book definition of omelet, but the way I eat food, almost anything's an omelet, as long as it's a bunch of shit thrown together with scrambled eggs. Stereotypically upper class. I don't know, waspy. Is it waspy? I feel like WASP is a acronym used, but I can't think of what it means. So, anyways, I'll just leave that out for now, even though it looks like one across is going to become showdowns. And again, I'm not looking at the across clues right now. So I do think it's going to end up being waspy, and it sounds right, but I don't have confidence in that. So I'm just going to go to the 8 down. And if it's showdowns, World Central Kitchen and Care in brief, NGOs is what you'll fill that in with, or showdowns I feel good about now. Now, I honestly have no clue what NGOs stand for, so I should look it up. But in my head, it's like these are nonprofits, but it's a G instead of a P. So I'll have to look that up in a moment once we're done here. But yeah, showdowns, big clashes, showdowns, there you go. So couldn't come up with that word or compound word in my head as the very first clue, but got all the downs, or got enough of the downs to feed myself the answer to get the rest of the down, or be more confident in the rest of the downs. So there you go. Now we get to go to the top right northeast corner. So service to someone who needs support, question mark. So you would, without even looking at the answer in the acrosses right now, you would normally think of this as just like IT support. But the two words here that I'm honing in on are service and support. What kind of support does someone need, and what does service even mean? So support could be like a bra in specific, for example, or a jock strap, or emotional support, or whatever kind of support there is. And service itself could mean many different things, and this is why once I look at the answer, I have a feeling I'm just going to skip it for now, because service could mean many things. It could mean like service in a sport, tennis, serving tennis, church service, like customer service, anything like that. And I would have to get a better idea what what would use those two words together in a different context. And off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. So let's go ahead and look at the clue or the answer or what we have for the answers. Service person who needs support. So if I hone in on the word service first, what are different kinds of service that could potentially fit in here? So right off the bat, I feel like this would be ing, some kind of gerund or verb ing. And I'm not going to make a guess beyond that. It looks like it's going to be a 2-word answer. But what this is going to be a bit difficult. So where does the second word even start? Is it going to be like beating? Or is it going to be like dating or rating? And just thinking through that, I can't think of what would start fitting into this clue of service for someone who needs support. So anyways, we'll keep going. Final phase. So I'm going to guess this means actually last stage. So maybe that's why I couldn't get the 10 down, because there's enough of the crosses that were wrong to get it to confuse me. So I'll throw last stage in there. I'll keep the S for eyeshadow purchases and also the S for some swimming pool inflatables. So maybe this does end up becoming vests like I originally thought. And for eyeshadow purchases, I will not make another guess for now. So if we just go back a step to 10 down for service for someone who needs support. Like, I honestly want to put bra setting or like bra sitting. I have no idea if that's even a thing, and it seems like kind of silly, but bra just fits in here way too well. So I'm trying to come up with a word that just fits here, not even something that I'm aware of. Like, I have no, I'm a dude. Just a dude. I have no idea if there's such thing as a service for bras. Maybe it's a actual like online store that exists, but again, I won't know. So we'll keep going. So got it finally in quotes. As I always say, when these come up, it could literally be anything. So these tend to be harder because I got some crosses. I can make a guess here of oh, I see now. Thing being is that this O could be very much I see now. But I'm going to go with oh, I see now. And no joke, they could choose whatever the word letter they want there. Ruler divisions could be quite anything. It could be inches, it could be centimeters, even millimeters. So what do I want? Let's see. Without looking at the crosses again, I do an I, ending with loy. Here, to me, it might be like Eloy is what they tend to use for one of the Planet of the Apes races, which, if apes down here is correct, then is cool to have in the opposite corners. 16, AHN. There are names that look like that, so maybe like Con or Ha. Oh, let's fix that. No, that is annoying. Like Han, Con, that's usually like Kane, but again, let me just put that H back. But yeah, another thing is this loy. If it's not correct, then it might be worth exploring with an A, which doesn't look any better here. So I'm going to put the O back in. We're just going to wait till we get more information. We might actually need to fill out this area to help get these acrosses, which will give me confidence on this down, which will fill this row out or column out. I might still have to guess bra here if this isn't a single word or a familiar term to me, which makes this corner a little bit of a wash. And I'm going to remove the inches because, again, that's just a toss-up, and I don't want to confuse myself by putting a probable guess where I didn't even make any guesses for the acrosses. And I don't have any words queued up to mean anything, so I'm just going to leave the letters I feel better about. Anyways, went door to door in a way, canvassed comes to mind. We'll get the ED in there. But how canvas doesn't fit. And I can't think of another word that'll work in here, or that'll even fit in here. So I'm going to skip that as well. Not looking good for the area that I'm already struggling with. Amazement would be awe. So, and it's not going to start with an U, but amazement, I can't think of anything that starts with an E, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove this. I'm going to throw ah in there, and I'm not going to try to replace vests with anything. Could be rafts, but I don't want to throw that in for now. I don't have any more downs to contend with that to help fill out anything else. So actually, let me just throw that in anyway and see what happens. Because I'm going to be coming back to it with the acrosses anyways, so it's either now or later. Because I replaced it, I might as well do it now. Cool. Again, we went through Chicken Kiev. Again, don't know if it's a thing, but we're going to get to the other downs for Veil in a moment. Discontinued music players that weigh just over 1 ounce. Nanos is what comes to mind. iPod Nanos. In specific, Olivia Rodrigo, that's going to be correct. So it's not going to be just iPods. It's not going to be Zunes, and there's no other MP3 players of note. That would make sense to throw in here in my opinion. So going with Nanos. Blog feed letters, RSS. Some romantic setups. Blink dates. I guess tank tops is wrong. Summer attire could be singular, so I'm going to take the S off. We'll go with blind dates, and lean is wrong, so I look foolish for that. Notice of money owns, money owed. You notice it, the money owed is a debt, but the notice itself is what the clue is for, and I don't know what that is, so we'll keep going. Roles, parts. Enterprise with many holes in its business plan. So holes in a business plan mean there's gaps. That's the shitty plan that's going to fall apart. But if there's an enterprise, the business plan part you can throw away, but an enterprise with holes. So like donut shop, basically. And there you go. So if it's not Dale or Vale, it's Dale, and it is exactly donut shop. So that's the only thing that I got wrong there, and now I feel confident that this is correct. Could be Dell, actually. Farmer in the Dell. But Kilv looks horrible too, so we'll stick with the Dale. Introverts need alone time. Sounds good. Underwear size measurement would be waist. We got the downs here for 31 across, so you wax off. Wayne, so someone else would have to weigh a more knowledgeable opinion on this. I was potentially gonna put Wayne here, but for the moon, you're waxing or you're waning. So I guess wax off means doing the opposite of waxing. I don't know. I just don't like that cluing because I don't feel like the off is implying the inverse of the wax. So that's just my opinion, but I'm going to keep going. Property of matter, inertia, I guess. World of Warcraft mission would be a raid. Some kind of rule as a rule. Since Anon looks like it's locked in from all the other downs, A feels strong, and you're not going to get anything else. Get rid of it, and I kind of cheat a little bit because 39 across, you could see it spells out sundress, so sleeveless summer attire. Again, singular or plural it can be. Sundress is singular, and yet it still ended in S, which if I left it in there could have been deceiving. Took a tumble, ate dirt, and German city, stat. Sure, it's German, and maybe that's not even the word for it is not a city, but is a word for city. I don't know, but we're just gonna roll with it. Rancid would be rotten, and that means 41 across from all the downs would be rig out, sure, to provide with equipment. Not sure I personally heard that, but if the G here is incorrect, I can't think of another letter to throw in that would make a better word. Rim out, definitely not it. And doesn't work with the downs. Menlo Park, didn't know that's where Google was founded, but being a Bay Area born and raised, I just am aware of Menlo Park, so easy to throw in there. Player of 20 across. No clue. If Olio is wrong, still no clue. And if phone is potential. So we'll just go to the next one. If I don't get any downs to confirm which of the acrosses is correct or wrong, then I'm going to actually remove Olio because that's the one I feel less confident about. All right, so country with a 75 mile coast along the Gulf of Guinea. I have no clue, but now I want to put like Borneo. Angel Reese would be WNBA's player, so we'll remove. Buttery topping could be ghee. So maybe this does end up being phone or phono or something. But country here, I can't think of a country that starts with BEN, so we put ghee because of the E from Reese, and I don't see any reason to remove it right now, just because I can't think of a country that starts with a B. And as 5 letters, like Iron Throne has to be right, so I'm just going to keep going. 48 down. Mother's mother in Cantonese, I do not know. Sandpaper feature could be grit. I don't know. I'm just going to put grit, and we'll see how we do with the acrosses. Cup full from China, tea. Perhaps. If it's true, then that would make apes true. But it does put us weird here. Nicest word there is home. And fit itself looks done, so it could be chit. Cup full from China. Cha. Chit. I'm going to leave that blank for now, just because I don't want to lose track of that guess. Stafford DJ. Revolutions per minute for your records that you play on for your LPs that you play on your phone. Phono, I don't know. Last down though, elevations, heights. So for a Friday, 34 and change minutes in, and I waste a lot of time just kind of talking through stuff randomly. I feel like I got a solid amount of the answers in a good state. So we're just going to go through the missing acrosses. Actually, we'll go through all the acrosses. I want to make sure I'm paying attention to the ones that got filled out from the downs that I'm not as confident in, and we can kind of second guess those too. But if we are able to get another across, then I do want to start vetting the downs. So here we go. We got showdowns the last time around with the downs, so we're going to move. Alliance. I don't know. I'm going to keep going. Movie Magic just got confirmed. Kind of, I guess. Low confidence, but a good stab at it. Chicago politician. I don't know. I'm actually going to remove this for Alliance as well because it could be like clan. If it's clan though, what ruler divisions would start with an N? So I'll leave that empty for now. Still confused. No wiser. Bra fitting. So there you go. Service is a bra fitting. That sounds like something that would be done. And I was getting confused last time around because I had vest or tubes here, and that wasn't working out. So now that we have no wiser here, I can also confirm here going door to door with caroled. Singing Christmas carols door to door, and we can check the across of palettes of eyeshadow. Sure, sounds good. Even this I see now could be wrong. It could be okay, I see now. I don't think that's right though, because if it's okay, then this would have to be a vowel in this ruler divisions, unless there's a consonant that comes after K that fits, and if it's just inch, there's no division of an inch that has a name of a unit. Then it would have to be an M. So this is either going to be an N or an M, and I think ROM seems fine over RON. So now it's a matter of, is this centimeters and millimeters? And alliance would be block, BLOC. So there you got it. That northeast corner that I was struggling with earlier, we're able to figure it out, all because like I mentioned, I would need to get the acrosses here, which I got with Wraths and no wiser, to feel good about this down. Suspected it would be 2 words and was really thinking this would end up being bra, but had nothing across to help me out there at the time. But getting fitting let me feel good about bra. Got block, and that let me lock in centimeters. And ROM just kind of got filled in as I confirmed it's OIC. Okay, I see would not work because there's just no second letter for this unit that would have blended to make sense. So again, I could still be wrong. There could literally be a guy named Emmanuel Rockham, Rock'em Sock'em Robots, but I'll take my chances there. So Dale, we talked about that earlier. Wayne also talked about that earlier, and these we got the first time around, and the downs all just confirmed it. Rig and Sundress were both from the downs. 8 Dirt the same. Mod we had before. PBR we had before. Stat we talked about. Pet, no reason to not think it's correct. We'll see. Gi I'm feeling good about, but we'll see. What I'm saying is going to be chit with cha. The reason I feel okay about cha for down is because in India, chai is tea. So maybe it's a word adapted in different languages to mean similar. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in. I'm not going to get any better guesses than this. And if I fill in all the letters and I have something wrong, this is what I'll go look back to. The other one being Ram or Rockham is my other guess. All right, there you go. Appletinis being green cocktails. I said apple martinis, I think, so shortening it to just singular word appletini, singular compound, whatever you want to call it. Portmanteau? I don't know, but yeah, singular appletinis. Why is it green when apples, the green part of apples are the skin of the specific apples? Not a great aesthetic for something that's supposed to feel classy like a martini. Anyways, let's check the downs. Mother's one mother, I'm assuming it's going to end up being Popo because it's cute to have the repetitive word, which is common in the Philippines, and it also spells out moon for 57 across. I really think this is going to end up being phono, and still no country, but when we look at the 57 across, glam rock would be moonstone. I don't know why it's considered glam, but a stone is a rock, and moonstone will get your Nidorino to evolve to Nidoking. So I'm going to throw it in. I do think it's going to be correct, and I pointed out the two things that I would check. If they're wrong, I would actually go to the ROM first, just because there's only one option there that it would switch to, and then for Chit and Cha, I would have to cycle through stuff because I can't think of anything better. There you go. 41 and change. Took a long time here for a Friday, but again, taking my time to kind of talk through things at a bit slower of a pace. That's kind of it. So there you have it. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. Take care.